I promised my brother on his deathbed I would take care of his son, but my wife wants to put him up for adoption because she's sick of him. My brother died back in May and he requested me to take care of his son in case he passed because his wife had died a couple of months prior. He had entrusted me and I agreed because I loved my brother dearly. I am financially stable and I am prepared to be a father. I asked my wife first before I gave my brother an answer though, and she was ecstatic. She agreed immediately because she has always wanted to be a mother and she loves taking care of my nephew Aiden. So we took him into our family and he is very well behaved and intelligent. But taking care of a kid is difficult. I work all day from Monday to Friday. I try my best to spend time with Aiden, but it is extremely tiring. However, I am willing to make as many sacrifices as possible to raise him properly. I love him with all my heart and I want to carry out my brother's wish no matter what. My wife stays home and watches him while I work during the day. She initially had no problem, but after 2 weeks she was tired too. Now, nearly 6 months later, she is exhausted and somehow completely done with Aiden. 2 days ago she told me that she wanted to stop taking care of Aiden. I was shocked. I knew it was tiring, but we promised my brother that we would take care of him. She said she understood but she just couldn't take it anymore. She can't handle him and has gotten sick of him. I said I would try to help out more. I could try paying someone too so that she could get some rest. She said no because it meant spending more money on him, which is also something she didn't want to do. I got angry at this point and reminded her we agreed. Besides, what would we do with Aiden? She said just give him up for adoption. I said no and she got furious. She said that I didn't know what it was like to take care of him full time. I said that I would do 50% of the housework and get a helper or a babysitter, but nothing I said would change her mind. She said she's had this idea for a while and the more she thought about it, the more she wanted to do it. I told her I needed to think and she said okay. Honestly, there was nothing to think about. I was not giving him up for adoption. A week passed and I thought she was going to press me about it, but there was nothing on her part that made me really suspicious. So I asked her about it. She didn't give me a clear answer and just said she was giving me time to talk about it. I didn't believe that, so I talked to Aiden. He was very quiet and hesitant to talk to me, which never happened before. After some time, he admitted that my wife had been very neglectful towards him. She barely feeds him and when he begs for food, she gets annoyed and tells him to leave her alone. She sometimes refuses to take him to school because she doesn't want to wake up early. Other times she's late to pick him up because she forgets. I couldn't believe this was happening right under my nose. I asked my boss for some time off and luckily I had enough in my savings to do that so that I could take care of him. Instead, I got to see what my wife does all day to claim she's tired all the time, but she just sits around and watches TV. Maybe for some time, she was putting some effort in, but now she was acting like a degenerate. She would just make messes left and right. I honestly don't know why she was doing all of this, but when I asked, she said it was because now I was going to know what she went through. This is also why she wasn't helping me because I never helped her, which isn't true. I always did my part whenever I was around. I slept on the couch for a week because I just couldn't be near her. The next day she brought up adoption again. She told me she didn't care what my decision was. She was already in the process of making this adoption happen.